It's 6 minutes after 8 o'clock, and a very good morning. My name is Jim Thorn, and today is Friday. And you know what that means. That means it's time for That's What's Happening's Blues and Arts Hour. It's a program where we feature some of Mississippi's finest singers, songwriters, musicians, and artists. And the program is made possible each week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. Well, today's musical artist has made an impact in the Austin, Texas music scene. And if you know anything about that area really has turned out some incredible musicians and artists, and now he's making an impact right here in the central Mississippi area as well as the southeastern part of our country. I believe we're really going to enjoy getting to know Jonathan Yargates along with his brand of Americana and folk rock music. It's a pleasure to welcome to the Blues and Arts Hour, Jonathan Yargates. Did I say that name right?
That is actually the more northern way to say it. Yeah, Yargates.
Okay.
It's Yargates, but
Yargates.
Yargates. I like that. Don't change it.
Okay. Oh, speaking of the northern part of the country, where is home for you?
Well, I mean, Brandon, Mississippi, Jackson area is home, of course, but I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and my parents, we moved down here when I was about 2 years old.
Yeah.
So I would definitely go back home every summer during the holidays to visit my grandparents and family up there, but it's not really fair to call it home.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I love your music, and I got to ask you, with all this COVID stuff going on, we were talking before the show, are you able to do any performances?
Absolutely. It's limited still, but there's since I've been back home, man, I've instantly got busy. I've had a residency at Shaggy's every Saturday. That's on the reservoir. It's a pretty cool spot. Mm-hmm. And then my band, we're playing we're going to Birmingham next Friday, and then we're going to play at Martin's downtown Jackson Saturday night.
Very good.
Yeah.
I'll catch that. What time is the show at Martin's, do you know?
I believe the doors open at 8,
mm-hmm.
and we have an opener, Jason Turner, who is an awesome musician.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it really kind of goes depending on how quick everything fills up there, but it's usually about 10 o'clock is when things get kind of kicked off.
We have to keep an eye on those restrictions, though. That could change.
Yeah,
but,
Yeah. We're kind of keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully, if I can just have one big hoorah before the year ends, that'd be nice.
That would be good. Well, listen, you're talking about home. You spent some time in Austin, Texas. We want to talk about that in a little while, but I want to play a song here that you said made some, really put some feet on your music over in Austin.
It really did. This song, Take My Time, it was on the Independent Brewery's Top 100 list for songs in Austin. I believe it was only like 87th, but still.
It made it.
Making the Top 100 in Austin made me feel really, really good.
All right. Well, this is Jonathan Yargates. Take My Time.
It's time to be a bigger man.
All right, that's Jonathan Yargates, and Take My Time. And Jonathan, is that music, that song, and other of your music, is that available to the public?
Yes, it is. That's on Spotify, iTunes, and all those things.
Mm-hmm. And the Jackson Free Press just did a feature on you that came out just a couple days ago, man.
Right.
Great feature. You kind of went into some depth there. Are you satisfied with the way it came out?
Absolutely, yeah. I think Tom Scarborough did an awesome job on that interview. It was very exciting to get to do one with him. But I think he really paid attention to what was important to me and what I wanted to, display as my vision or the goals I'd like to reach being back home. Because they're not just for me, they're for everybody. It's kind of a big picture situation right now with COVID. Any kind of job force or area in work is getting cut. So I feel like artists in general in our field, we just need to do a good job at being supportive. You know, being right there with each other. Everybody took a big loss this year.
Sure,
I definitely did, and it's instead of kind of dwelling on it, I'm kind of past that part, and it's like being back home and being around people again that I love and I really trusted, to help me develop my music. It's like, man, let's keep it going. Let's set an example that even though the times are tough, for performing, it doesn't mean that we have to be so down. And I'm just excited to see that this place never stopped and never showed any signs of slowing down for people that wanted to become performing musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of great new faces,
Yeah.
you know, and that was really cool for me to see.
Yeah, and I see in that story there were some people that you mentioned that you've worked with that actually been featured on the show, so it's been good.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Jonathan Yargates is our very special guest. We're going to come back and enjoy some more of his music and a little bit more in depth about what makes him tick and a little bit of where he's coming from. I think you're going to enjoy the rest of the show. Keep it tuned right here. I'm Jim Thorn. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour, which is made possible each week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. 14 minutes after 8. It's 19 minutes after 8. Good morning. I'm Jim Thorn. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour here on 103.9 WYAB. Our very special guest in studio, Jonathan Yargates. And what a terrific style of music he has. And Jonathan, I guess you could call it Americana, folk rock. I mean, but it really is very unique. You want to talk about that style?
Well, I mean, that's about as close as I can say it without it. I just have so many influences that are just all over the map that it's really hard for me to kind of stray away from it all.
Yeah.
I really liked, a lot of these recordings were catered to the Austin sound, what was kind of working for me out there, so to speak. And it was just kind of like a happy accident, really, you know.
Yeah.
And being in a bluegrass band, but then being in punk rock bands and being in, you know what I mean, and being in a funk band, being in an R&B band, I don't know where to go sometimes, you know. So it's just, I was like, I'm gonna, like I said, use some of these influences that I have, like we were just talking about Bob Dylan, and just kind of take it back, just kind of be simple with it, you know. And this is what I'm coming up with.
Talk about Austin. How long were you out in Austin?
Well, I first moved to Austin. The first time I was there, I was after I interned in New York, and I had an internship there. It was kind of around the recession time, so after that, everybody lost their internships, and they were like, you should try out Austin, Texas. Made it down there. I was there for a little while, got into school. When I got out is when I came back to Jackson, and then after 5 years of being back, went back to Austin. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay. It's pretty, like we were talking earlier, just an amazing music scene out there, and then you kind of fit right on in there, didn't you?
You know, yeah. I mean, it's just such a powerful scene and something to be so proud to be, like, recognized in, that it's still not really, I guess, it's still so humbling that I don't feel like it's like, well, yeah, I was there, I got to play there, but there's so many great people there that it's kind of like, I guess I was in it, you know?
Well, listen, you've got your guitar, a little Martin, nice guitar there, your harmonica, and you're going to do a tune live. What are we going to hear?
This is actually a song called Back Home. I wrote this, I wrote a good list of songs when I was kind of homesick, and this was one of them, and it just kind of describes it.
Okay, well, let's enjoy this. This is Jonathan Yargates on the Blues and Arts Hour. All right.
Maybe I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Maybe I needed to leave so I could find some things. Maybe I wanted to help myself survive myself. Maybe I needed a way to see that I wasn't well. Been out here such a long time, just wanna make it back home. People are so hard to find, that's why we feel all alone. Been out here such a long time, just wanna make it back home. People are so hard to find, that's why we feel all alone. Maybe I needed to change the things that I was doing to myself, but I knew it would cost everything. Maybe I put myself up against the wall. Maybe I would never change until I took the fall. Been out here such a long time, just wanna make it back home. People are so hard to find, that's why we feel all alone. Been out here such a long time, just wanna make it back home. People are so hard to find, that's why we feel all alone. Out here such a long time, just wanna make it back home. People are so hard to find, that's why we feel all alone. Been out here such a long time, just wanna make it back home. People are so hard to find, that's why we feel all alone.
Jonathan Yargates.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Tremendous.
Thank you.
And where can people find your music, Jonathan?
Back Home is not released yet, but it will be. But any other song like Take My Time that you played earlier is on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, Facebook. We have a lot of live clips of our shows and stuff on Facebook. Yeah, pretty much anywhere.
You know, for the longest time, since this COVID-19 stuff has been going on, I've been encouraging our listeners to support local musicians and artists by purchasing their music so they can do that.
Sure.
Can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've actually noticed a spike in sales since COVID's happened. So
Is that right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very real thing. People are doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great. And you've got a Facebook page. I noticed that you were playing a little banjo on that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like to pretend I can play banjo. So
we did all right.
Thanks, man. Yeah. It's a fun instrument, but the song I just performed right now, I believe that's what you're referring to. I actually tried it on banjo one time. Yeah.
Now you perform as a solo artist, right? But you were talking about your band. Talk about your band for a moment.
Well, man, I'm very blessed and grateful to have these guys. I'm gonna just start off with that because we just have the best time together, and I think that you really are going to be entertained if you come see us because we're very energetic. We've been playing together for a while. It's been it's a good change from solo is more me like laid back, kind of intimate with you. Maybe I'll talk with some people, things like that. And then when it's a big band, it's a rock show. You know, we take them and we it's you know, it's kind of like an outlaw rock if somebody's told me something like that, you know, and basically taking these folk songs and then just kind of putting some, I guess when Dylan sold out, you know what I mean, like that kind of style.
when he went electric.
When he went electric and everybody didn't like it. So, but no, we have an excellent time together. I'm proud of. I'm so grateful to be a part of this.
Name names.
Well, Brad Carter is our drummer, who he's a go-to drummer in town. We've been playing together for about like 15 years. You know, Steve Ramsey plays bass. Excellent musician, plays guitar as well. I met him at some jams back in Jackson a long time ago, and I just hit him up. You know, come be my bass player, man. And then Chad Wesley, which is a very familiar name around here. He's an okay guitar player, No, Chad,
I've heard him play. Yeah,
he's one of the best, if not definitely my favorite guitar player I've ever played with. And him and I are brothers, man. We get along so well, and I learn stuff from him every time I get in a room with him. So, and we have a semi new addition. Chris Nash, he's a young keyboard piano player, excellent kid. I actually just met him moving back home, and I always kind of felt like we were missing a little something. And I've seen him play on Facebook enough, and I'd go to these open mics in town just so I can watch, check people out. He was up at one. He actually runs the one in Finian's every Tuesday night.
Okay, yeah.
Excellent piano player. So we had a rehearsal 2 nights ago, and it was just the best time ever. You know what I mean? So we're having fun and we're making progress. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's great.
So
back in Mississippi, and you've been back for how long again?
I believe I got back in August. Middle August. Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Thanks.
You're adding to the amazing talent that we have here in Central Mississippi, and we're going to have some more music from our very special guest, Jonathan Yargates. And again, how can people find your music, Jonathan?
You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on iTunes, Amazon, and then, like I said, Facebook, Yargates Music on Facebook, or Instagram, Yargates Music. If you want to be interactive with me the most, I'd find me on Instagram, because that's where I spend most of my time online.
All right. More music, more conversation from our very special guest, Jonathan Yargates, on the Blues and Arts Hour. Their show is made possible each week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. Our time now is 8:30. CBS News Update next. It's 25 minutes until 9. Good morning. I'm Jim Thorn. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour, made possible each week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. And, of course, we feature some of Mississippi's finest singers, songwriters, musicians, and artists. And our very special guest in studio this morning is Jonathan Yargates. Been enjoying some of his music. And, Jonathan, I want to refer to something that was mentioned in the Jackson Free Press story that just came out 2 days ago, and I recommend it to our listeners. But you were part of a band called the Jacktown Ramblers. Talk about that.
Oh, well, actually, that's an old group. We unfortunately are not a group anymore.
Yeah.
That's been about 10 years maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the song towards the tail end of our existence, I wrote a song called Good Shot Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And we never really got to display it as a band. I wrote it on our banjo player's couch just one morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of hung on to it for a little while after that one, and then I put it away, but then it was kind of like hey, what about that Good Shot Boy song? And I was like, oh, I don't know, and so I started bringing it back, and then when I started playing it in Austin, and then the reaction I was getting out of it from Austin, I was like, oh, well, this is a very positive reaction, so I think this song is back, so the Jacktown Ramblers was a very, very, very fun band. We were like a bluegrass punk band. And our albums were really pretty albums. Like I believe I said, our goal was to have like a very professional, show up like we've done this type of atmosphere with the albums. But then when you came and saw us live, it was a rock show,
Mm-hmm.
And those were some good times, man. Those were that band actually influenced a lot of this direction that I'm in right now, because I had no idea that I'd ever be in a band like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it happened, it just blew the door open for so much more influence that I kind of hung on to a lot of that.
Well, let's listen to you. You talked about Good Shot Boy, the song. Let's listen to this.
All right, excellent.
This is Jonathan Yargates.
Everything I could.
All right, it's Jonathan Yargates and Good Shot Boy. I tell you, Jonathan, that's one of those songs that you're going to wake up in the middle of the night and it's going to go right around in your head.
Yep.
Great tune and very popular. Your upcoming performances, how can people hear you?
We'll be in Birmingham, Alabama, full band, Jonathan Yargates band, will be in Birmingham, Alabama at Ghost Train on the 18th, Friday the 18th. But then we will be back in Jackson the following night at Martin's downtown, where, man, last time we played there, it was a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that it keeps growing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And Jason Turner is opening for you?
Jason Turner, Jason Turner is all around one of the most talented people I know. From art, like his art is amazing. He's just a nerd like me, man. We just, and having him open up for us, we're very, honored for that, because he's such a great guy and such an awesome musician. And but yeah, that's going to be a fun night.
Should be a great show.
Yeah.
All right, our time now is 17 minutes till 9. We're going to come back with our final segment, more music from Jonathan Yargates. I'm Jim Thorn. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour, made possible each week by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. All right, we're 13 minutes away from 9. Jim Thorn here on the Blues and Arts Hour. Our very special guest in studio, Jonathan Yargates. And Jonathan, we were talking during the break there, and of course the COVID-19 has interrupted just about everybody's plans, and you're included in that. Talk about that part.
Yeah, I was gonna hopefully by this year I was gonna finish up my first like real big studio album, and it came about March when it all hit Austin for sure. It's when it all kind of slowed down, and studios where everybody was closed, nobody can be in the same building together, basically. So I put it on hold. I have all the files and stuff that I had, made on a jump drive, and then I go back and listen to them, and it's just, after all the stuff that I think we've all been through this year, it's kind of like my mind maybe has changed a lot from those recordings. And so since I'm back home, and like I said, I've got the people that I really want to record with, I'm shopping around for studios to pick it up where I left off for sure.
So you're going to pick that up and hopefully complete it
absolutely.
In 2021?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Well, definitely let us know when it's out there.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Definitely.
Got a song queued up called Very Last Man. Give us a little background on that.
Very Last Man is, I really just wanted to make like a song that would probably make people just dance. You know what I mean? Like a swing dance style. And, just talks about meeting a girl and falling in love and everything's cool. And let's just have a good time.
All right. Well, let's enjoy it. This is Jonathan Yargates. That song's got a great feel. Very Last Man, Jonathan Yargates. And Jonathan, you were saying it's a great feel the way it is in that version, but you said that band makes it really kind of...
Oh, man, it's killer with the band. It's a lot of fun. It's the one where people are like, oh, we can dance now. I have a lot of fun with that one. And
where can people find your music?
Very Last Man is very... let's see, all those are, that's available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, everything else like that.
Yeah. How long have you been writing? I mean, when did you really understand or figure out that there's something down inside that I need to start expressing in music?
Well, I kind of low-key, when I was a kid, I did, not a lot of people know this, but I used to write poetry and kind of kept it to myself, and I learned how to play. I was a drummer first, I was in the school band, things like that, and drumline and stuff, and my dad played guitar. So I used to kind of go sneak his guitar out of his room before he got home from work, and I would learn stuff. That's when I got my first guitar. He's like, how do you already know how to play? And
was he an encouragement for you?
His musical taste was a big influence, so to speak. You know what I mean? I think I forgot kind of where I was going with that, but
well, when you play guitar from your dad's, did he get you a guitar?
I actually had to trade in my first snare drum from 6th grade band to get my first guitar that I purchased was this Black Ovation acoustic guitar. Yeah, and I had a little money saved up from working. I worked at a Cindy's Fish House.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and so I'd get my $40 a week from Cindy's Fish House and stack it up, and then I took up my snare drum and I made a trade-in with that and a little bit of cash to get my first guitar.
Great investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, listen, we're about to wind down the show, Jonathan, and again, we've referred to, we can't not refer to what's been going on with the COVID stuff, but you're moving on, and sounds like things are going well for you. Any words of encouragement for your fellow musical artists and maybe even our listeners?
Just don't quit. This isn't definitely, I feel like if the door's open for us to keep performing, it's really just about making sure everybody's having a good time. Everybody's in a positive state of mind. Mm-hmm. We have a service that is, I think, very healing, and it brings people together, and gosh, don't we know we need that right now. Yeah. And I feel like if I'm going to say anything to the musicians, I feel like we just have a duty to keep going, mm-hmm. you know. Mm-hmm. I don't really think the world needs rock stars right now. It just really needs community. It needs people that want to not make you, be scared that there won't be good times anymore, mm-hmm. Things like that. So...
Very good. Jonathan Yargates. Jonathan, it's been a blast having you in the studio, brother.
Thank you so much.
Enjoyed it very much. All right. That's going to do it. Jonathan Yargates, our very special guest. I'm Jim Thorn. Blues and Arts Hour is made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. Until next time, thanks for listening. Rolling out with Mississippi Girls and Jonathan Yargates. Thanks again, Jonathan.
Don't think there's any better around.